In this video, I'm going to show you some of these motion graphic templates that I got to create for the men's 2022 FIFA World Cup on Fox Sports. The first one on the list is the matchup interstitial. This one I didn't design or animate. I just took this and converted it into a motion graphic template. If you select this Mogrt, and if you navigate back to the essential graphics here, instead of browse, we're going to go to edit. And in here, I've added some options. So we have home team right here. You can quickly change it to any team that you want. And just like that, it will change not only the initials, the colors, the flag, but also the text here as well. So whatever team you choose, as you can see, everything's adjusted for the away, which is the bottom team. You can do the same thing all day long. Now, there are cases when you have something like this. Notice both of these have very similar colors. For that, I've added these color options. So you can go to home team and you say, hey, instead of primary and secondary, let's reverse the two and do secondary primary. And just like that, it will reverse those two colors. Next up is this lower third Mogrt. This one I did create from scratch. So if you select the Mogrt, we have a lot of different options in here. We have duration at the very top. It's set to 4, but I'm going to move it up to 6 seconds, which means exactly at 6 seconds, everything's going to be gone. Then we have country, and you can pick any country you'd like. You'll see it update in here. Now we do have a generic look as well. So if you click on generic, it'll give you a generic Fox Sports look without the flags. Then we have this overlay feature. So if you check it, you'll see this animated background. Notice it does have animation and it does adjust to the country that you select. You can also adjust the opacity of it. You can completely turn it off. We have the title here, and based on what you type, it will automatically adjust your lower third width. You can adjust the size, the font style to whatever style you want. Then we have subtitle in here, which is this text right here. You can adjust the text. You can add more lines of text, and it will adjust everything. You can also make this text longer than your title, so the size will adjust to the longest text. We can also tell it to go to the left side. We have this color, white and gray. Position, X and Y position, which is the position of the lower third. We can set it to the right side, to the center. We can go to the top and do the same thing there as well, left side or right side. At the very bottom right here, we have width and height. Right now, both of them set to responsive width and height, which means the content dictates the size of your lower third. But at any point, you can set it to custom width and height, which kind of locks everything in. Maybe sometimes you want lower third to be certain width. We have spacing for the text width and spacing text height, which is right here. So we can set it to 0 for the width. Notice no spacing there and there as well. And then the last one is the color. And there are cases like right here, maybe you want to reverse the two. Instead of secondary, let's go to primary. And instead of primary, let's go to secondary. Next up is the Billboard. This one I did not design or animate. I simply rigged it, and it was a very easy rig. To edit this one is very simple. Just select the Mogrt. We have two things. We have the logo and the color here. So background color can be anything, something like this. Instantly it changes it, but then we can replace the logo as well. So we can go and find any logo we want and just replace it. We have some options in here. We can say, hey, let's do no scale. We can adjust the scale here. We can rotate it, do all kinds of stuff. Next up, we have this background Mogrt. On the surface, it looks like a simple animated background. It is loopable, but you can select it and you have more options to adjust here. At the very top, we have country, which has to do with the colors. Right now it's set to generic colors, but if you pick any country you want, like England, you'll see English primary color, or Ecuador. Any of them, you'll see primary color, but let's go with something like Spain. So right now we're seeing Spanish primary color right here, color primary, but I can change it to secondary color and we'll see secondary color. And right here under background, we're going to change it to overlay. And now we have animated overlay, which comes in very handy. You can slap it over the top of any footage. Right here, boxes, it's set to none. We're going to say one box. We can put anything in that box. Also, we can change it to 2 boxes. Now we have 2 boxes that we can put one person here, another person there, and it's animated, it's loopable. Let's change it to US here, and let's go to primary. So we have a flag, we have labels, we have the broadcast logo that we can adjust from maybe Fox to Fox Sports 1, and also title 1, which is that one, and title 2. We can change it to maybe something like USA, and then this one can be Qatar. And as you can see, things will adjust. It is adjustable, so it doesn't matter what you type, it will automatically adjust. Here's another interstitial Mogrt that I created. Everything you see here, you can adjust. So you can select this, and we have images. So it has 4 different images, but you can change. Maybe you want to have 2 images. And just like that, it will go from this image to the next image right here. Will fade into this one. At any point, you can adjust these. You can put this one in here, yellow cards for that one. And just like that, things will adjust. Again, you can adjust the scale, all of that in here. You can even set it to none and it won't have any footage. And then you can just basically put anything you want underneath that. We can adjust this logo right here. Instead of Fox, we're gonna set it to FS1. Next up is this team photo bump, and it's very easy to use. And this is another Mogrt that I created myself. So if I select the Mogrt, notice we have a lot of options to adjust. We can select a country that we want. Let's go with Brazil. Notice everything changes, the flag, all of that in here, the colors. So we can also replace the image with any image that we find. So let's go with this one. Right away, you can see everything is looking nice. But again, you can adjust the size, the position, the rotation. We can also adjust the colors. So right now we have green text and yellow background, but I want to reverse the two. So I'm going to go to color right here. Instead of primary, secondary, I'm going to go with secondary, primary. And just like that, it reverses. And we can also adjust the text. We can type anything we want. Things will shift, readjust. We can add as many lines of text as we'd like, and it will automatically work hard to put everything in that space without messing anything up. You can adjust the size of the text. We can adjust the font style to any style we have loaded here. We can also adjust the width spacing and line spacing. Next up is text interstitial. And for this one, I only did the coding to turn it into a motion graphic template. If you select the Mogrt, you see three things. We have the title that you can instantly change in here. We have the title line spacing that you can instantly adjust. And we also have font size that you can increase. Now, I've seen this one used quite a bit for highlights. So for example, let's say someone scored a goal on the 23rd minute. So you would type 23-minute mark, and then just like that, you'd see 23, and you would see it in the highlights. So you would kind of like go 23rd minute, and then it would go straight into the goal. Next is stadium interstitial, and I did create this one myself, so let me kind of walk you through it. I've added 3 options to adjust in this Mogrt. If you select the Mogrt, you have 3 of them in here. So the stadium name, it can be anything. Let's go with something like soccer stadium. As you can see, it will adjust. For the city and country, let's go with Doha, Qatar, and just like that, it will adjust. And then the image, I have another AI generated image. I'm just going to replace. Text bump is next. It's another Mogrt that I created myself. This Mogrt does have some options that I've added. So if you select this Mogrt, you can see we do have some options for the logo here. This is a network logo. We can change it to any logo that we already have loaded in. We also have title here, which is this right here. We can change it to something like tomorrow. And just like that, it will change it. We can adjust the size of it. Notice if I size it down, everything shifts. Even if I type something here, it will readjust everything, make sure everything fits well. Player interstitial is next. And for this one, I only did the rigging to turn it into a motion graphic template. I did add some options in here as well. So we have a country option. We can select any country we want. Now, in this case, we have to do this. Let's go to Portugal here. Let's change from Messi to Ronaldo. There you go. You can also change the color. Maybe instead of primary, let's go to secondary. Yeah, that looks good. Next, we have a simple generic segment title that I created myself. You go to the edit tab and you have all of these options that you can instantly adjust, like the blue colors of the stripes. You can go to orange, red, and you can shuffle all day long here. You can adjust the text, you can adjust the size of the text, you can adjust the spacing of the text, and also the style of the text. Segment 1 is next, and for this one, I only did the rigging to turn it into a motion graphic template. If you select this, you'll see all of the options. We have the title, which is this right here. Let's change this to something like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, and when I click away, notice everything adjusts. The scale will size down. It will shift everything to where it fits only in this area. You can adjust the size of it. You can adjust the spacing. You can turn off the sponsor logo. You can turn it back on. Here's the sponsor logo. We can actually replace it with another logo like this one right here. Segment 2 is the last Mogrt, and for this one, I also only did the rigging to turn it into a motion graphic template. If you select this, you'll see some of these options in here. It's very similar to segment 1. As you can see, we can adjust the size, the spacing. We can turn off the sponsor logo, turn it back on. We can replace the sponsor logo by dragging images over the top.